obviously we're not allowed to be here. Even if we had a disguise on, this dog would bark on us. And
so we've grabbed the dog bone. We think that he might have been barking for that, or he's noted us. He might be just wanting to get a chew on the bone, but the barking has actually alerted an NPC. This mechanic here who's come across, so we need to be careful.
Yeah, so this poor guy doesn't know what'll hit him.
I should always check what's behind you. The dog's stunned.
Yeah, so as we're trespassing here in the scrapyard, this mechanic comes in pretty handy, as we can take his disguise and move around a lot more freely in this area. We don't have to kind of sneak around, because now, as long as we don't get close to the other NPCs, we're actually allowed to be here.
Yeah, and we're going to shove him in the closet, keep him out of sight. There's no evidence that he was ever here. We've got our disguise, and we saw the target walking deeper into the scrapyard, so that's where we're going to head now.
Yeah, so now dressed as a mechanic, if you have to get close to other NPCs, it's very useful to blend into the environment and kind of just pretend that you belong here. So as we'll see here, this NPC, he is kind of wondering who you are, but he's not suspicious yet. But if you kind of would have stayed closer to him for a longer amount of time, then he would eventually have found out, or if there's 2 or 3 of them close.
Yeah, the mechanics will recognize if it's a small town, so they know each other pretty well. So a bold guy walking around does look suspicious. Why 47 needs to blend in. But of course the police officer, he's not so familiar with the mechanics, so he's not going to bust you. But we're thinking about taking him out with the crowbar here, but thought better of it.
Yeah, I think if you pick up that crowbar, he will kind of get a little bit suspicious about you, so it's better to let it be. So here the target's been dealing with some dirty cops, and he's heading off into this tiny garage over here. I think he's the guy who is in charge of the cars for the gang. So they're kind of preparing this kidnapping of Victoria, and he is preparing the car here. And that's an accident waiting to happen, as you can see in Instinct here.
It's a good choice of words.
Yeah, accident kills are a very big feature in Absolution, and there is a large number of ways of taking down every single target in the game. And this is where the team has really went to town on coming up with inventive ways of killing targets that are kind of localized to each area. So naturally here in a garage, what better to use than a car lift?
Who's screwing about? Okay, all right. Who's making the racket?
So it's the 3rd target down. The target tracker resembles that. We've got three targets down, a really high score. The police are on the way in to see what's happened. You can hear the mechanics. We're a bit worried about this guy who's just been crushed, but we're clear. We're away. It's got warning attack dogs again, so we have to be careful about that. We're now in the cougar's nest. This is like the main hangout area for the cougars. They're there hosting a bit of a party for Lenny. But they're having a barbecue, and you might see the lighter fuel there, which could be an option. Barbecues and lighter fuel tend to go pretty well together when Agent 47's around. And we can also see the policeman down there. He's allowed to be in this area. We're not, as a mechanic. It's a bit of a private area, so we're going to try and take his disguise and see if we can get closer to our target.
Yes, usually these kind of isolated characters are pretty useful for us, as they provide disguises and weapons and so on.
We've just got an improvised weapon there, a bottle. Smash this around the guy's head. Smash. He's down. Disguise is ready to get picked up. And 47 needs to choose a weapon here.
Yeah, so what else to use than an axe rather than a tomahawk?
And we can see why why the police officer was so distracted there.
That was a really perverted guy. And now we have his clothes on. Awesome. So dressed as a police officer, we're allowed to get closer to these guys up here. And basically we only have one of these as a target, the one in the middle.
Yeah, Mason.
And everyone else, unfortunately, will be collateral in this point shooting, which is one of our new features in the game, allows us to kind of slow down time to a minimum, and using our instinct powers, take them down instantly. And as you can see, they're trying to pull their guns to fight back, but as they're taken down too quickly for that, the whole thing goes down without anyone making a sound, as we also use silenced guns for this.
Yeah, we've also used all of our instinct though. It's very expensive to use point shooting, especially on so many characters all at one time. So there's a lot of strategy involved in when you should use your point shooting. You can't just walk up to any character and shoot them and do it instantly. You have to make sure you do it at the right time, otherwise you run out of instinct completely. But there's the other target's come out here. He's come to investigate, probably come back to the barbecue, and he's stunned by the dead bodies.
Ow, poor old guy.
47's just killed the barber.
Yeah, that's sad, but it's for the greater good. We need a new disguise here, because now there's a lot of police officers in the building here. So using the barber, which is freely allowed to walk around here, it's a pretty powerful disguise, and as you can see, there's lots of characters here, so trying to go in here guns blazing would be pretty dangerous and difficult.
There is a lot of NPCs here. You can also see there's a guy a little bit further ahead getting his pistol ready, so he's prepared for a shootout. But it would be a bit of a mistake to pull your guns out here. Sneaking through as the barber is probably the best way through towards Lenny, who you can see down there. Instinct lights up in blue, not red because he's not a target. We need to kidnap him. And we make our way down.
Yeah, so basically now there's this one police officer standing between us and Lenny at the moment, so we will just quickly deal with him.
Quickly deal with him by putting a pair of scissors in his neck.
Well, yeah.
Deal with him in 47's trademark way.
Yeah, you could have subdued him, right? Poor guy. And now we have Lenny all to ourselves, and he's kind of just sitting there lying about his antics in Chicago, so he's kind of an easy prey. It's almost too easy.
Yeah.
You're not the talkative type, huh? You know your place. Well, I like that in the barber.
That's it, and thanks for watching the playthrough of Streets of Hope from Hitman Absolution, which is out in November 20th this year.
Thanks for taking the time to listen, and of course watch.